Robert Cordry's 1604, table. Which of these is not one of the 4 main time zones in the US? On a church, a calf projecting head spouting rainwater is called a what? Grotesque, chimera, gargoyle. According to the Elton John song, Saturday night's alright for what? Fighting, drinking, eating out. Ben Folk stars in what CBeebies show aimed at encouraging an interest in nature? Mr. Bud's Compost Heap, Mr. Bloom's Nursery, Mr. Blossom's Greenhouse. In July 2017, what number album in the UK? Now that's what I call music. What was the world's first purpose-built motor racing circuit? Aintree, Brooklands, Davidstow. The Italian liqueur sambuca is traditionally served with what kind of beans? In the fairy tale, how does the prince wake Sleeping Beauty? With a tickle, with a kiss, with an alarm clock. London's King's Road is famously associated with what type of shops? Butchers, bookshops, boutiques. In space exploration, which of these is an example of either? Docking, lift-off, spacewalk. In a rugby scrum, which player is positioned between the two props? Hooker, wing, flanker. Whose albums include Songs in a Minor and The Element of Freedom? Avril Lavigne, Alicia Keys, Adele. Which of these was never appointed poet laureate? Which of these normally wears point shoes? Clown, mountaineer. Drew will speak your question. Taylor will speak your question.
Morgan will speak your questions.
Hayden will speak.
Robin will speak.
Cameron will. Terry will.
Charlie will speak your questions. Which of these is a famous line from Airplane? Don't call me Judith, don't call me Shirley, don't call me Helen. Which of these is the meaning of the word confidant? Someone you work with, someone you share a private matter with, someone you have a relationship with. Which of these operas was not composed by Puccini? Madama Butterfly. Which of these is an ingredient of the dish pad thai? Prawns, oysters, dried fish. Which Austrian-born film star has the nickname Arnie? Arnaldo Schweppes, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Aaron Schweitzer. Which of these bones is not adjacent to one of the others? Ulna, radius, scapula. Which of these is known as a grosser, stamp collector, plane spotter, railway enthusiast? Made in Dorset, what kind of food is blue vinny? Soup, cheese, pie. In a proverb, forbidden fruit tastes what? Sourest, sweetest, bitterest. Which of these is a song? Which of the Spice Girls married a football star? Posh, ginger, sporty. In which of these buildings would you find a sallyport, a castle, a windmill, a church? Which of these is the title of an opera by Philip Glass? Einstein on the beach, Hawking on the phone. Which of these is a snake-eating bird from Africa? Secretary bird. Which of these seaside resorts is on the east coast? Blackpool. Which of these terms describes the UK's political system? Federal Republic, constitutional monarchy, one-party state. The name of which of these games is an onomatopoeia? Kapung, Simon, Twister. Which of these is a famous artwork by Picasso? Guernica, The Hay Wain. In music, which word means the opposite of sharp? Squidgy, soft, flat. Ricky Gervais played himself in which? What fruit is most associated with the Greek god Dionysus? Which company owns the trademark for the color Robin's Egg Blue for its boxes and bags? Tiffany & Company, Black & Decker, Abercrombie & Fitch. Who won 22 Grand Slam tennis singles titles between 1987 and 1999? Martina Navratilova, Steffi Graf, Monica Seles. What pantomime character appears in the title of the David Bowie album? Cinderella, Aladdin, Buttons. What game show has been hosted by Larry Grayson, Bruce Forsyth and Jim Davidson? Play Your Cards Right, The Generation Game, Big Break. What animal was Goldie, who escaped from London Zoo for 12 days in 1965? Golden eagle, golden retriever, golden lion tamarin. In 2012, ITV screened the first UK TV advert aimed specifically at which animals? Dogs, cats, hamsters. What country's national rugby team is nicknamed the Springboks? South Africa, New Zealand, Australia. What first name linked the Oscar-winning performers Newman and Schofield? Paul, Peter, Parker. What distance is covered in 4 track events of an Olympic men's decathlon? 1,400 meters, 2,110 meters, 1,600. Which of these countries of the UK has the most seats in the Westminster Parliament? Northern Ireland, Wales, Scotland. The set of regulations and procedures known as H&S is health and what? Safety, sickness, stealth. Which of these words describes someone who is recklessly extravagant with money? Profectitious, proficuous, profligate. Which song from the Toy Story films won the Oscar for Best Original Song? You've Got a Friend in Me, We Belong Together, When She Loved Me.